How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another MUSHVLOG Monday. The spring is really starting to settle in. We're right on the brisk of being able to mush or not. It's about 11 degrees and I usually don't mush at 12 or higher. So let's get this motorcycle started, because they're pulling so hard now that when I use the bike, the brakes get broken. So it's a lot easier to brake with the engine on this one. There's a lot of wind, so that's gonna help the dogs cool down even more. We've really been up in our game lately. We're mushing about 3 to 5 kilometers every single day now, and the dogs are handling it just fine. Make us all the injuries, healing up really good. I haven't seen any signs of that returning. Right now life is smiling, and I'm upping my YouTube game and working harder and more on my videos. But there's one more week of school left until I go on my summer vacation for 2 weeks. And then I have jobs, so really I don't have enough hours in the day to keep pushing out long, hard edited MUSHVLOG Mondays. I'm working on another bigger project about the flood that's going on right now. Let's get on with it. Let's start training the dogs. Yeah. See, they don't care about sheep. They care about pulling. Venstre. Venstre. It's finally possible to start mushing in the woods, and there's a little it's a little tricky to get around these pits of snow, but we're doing just fine. So riding with a motorcycle instead of a bike helps me a lot to give speed when they need it, and it helps me a lot to brake, because if I was doing this on a normal bicycle, I would have to brake all the time, and that would change the parts like every other month, just to keep them from pulling too fast. And with this, it's just the engine. They're just pulling the engine. It's not that the dogs are pulling less, it's just that they're pulling an engine instead of pulling the wheels. And I really like mushing with this a lot more than with the bike, because the bike's broken and I can sit a lot more comfortably on the dirt bike while mushing than I ever could on a normal bicycle. The only downside to this is that it makes noise. It's not as nice to hear the noise, you know. It's a lot more relaxing just to have complete silence. Höjda. Höjda. So we're going a little bit too slow right now, but I want to teach them that they can pull less if I'm riding the dirt bike. So if I just don't help them, they will go at the same speed or as fast as they can, because it's not really much holding them back right now. And it's so beautiful out. You can see the leaves everything's starting to get green. Absolutely fantastic. The dogs are pulling absolutely fantastic. They're loping. So how she just tried to run on the left side of the road? That's because in the winter time that was where the trail was. But in the summertime, I always make sure the dogs run on the right side of the road, because if we are to meet traffic or other dogs, the immediate interaction would be to go to the right side. And if I just keep the dogs on the right side, I don't have to do anything. I just keep mushing and stay on the right side of the road. I really don't want to have dogs running on the wrong side of the road, because that's a lot of extra work for everyone. And the other thing I can also do with the dirt bike is that if I want to teach them commands for example how to go faster, I can just use the engine. So if I have a command for faster, which in my case is yeah, I think maybe they caught on to it, but my command for going faster is allowed yeah. So I would just do like this. Okay, yeah, there's a hole in the road. Yeah. And now that I don't want to go as fast anymore, I can combine a command to that as well. So I go role. Now we're going a lot more slow. And if I were to do that 100 more times and then go to the normal bike and give the command without giving them extra power, they will pull harder and go faster just because I said yeah, which they think means faster. And they will go slower if I say role, because they think that means slower. So it's a lot of ups and downs with training with an engine. One of the biggest downs is that they can actually learn that the engine means, okay, pull. So normally when I start, I either have the engine running while putting them into the team, or I just have the engine completely turned off until we're mushed for a while. And mushing with the engine off is a bit more comfortable. It doesn't make too much sound. They need to know that my voice is the command. Starting the engine, that doesn't mean start to run. Take it right. Hey, stopping the engine doesn't mean stop running. Giving it more rev doesn't mean run faster. My voice is the command, not the engine, not the bike. And that's a big mistake you can do when you start training with motorized vehicles, is that the dogs start listening for the cues from the bike and not from the cues from your mouth. I think it is a lot safer to train with an engine. I think it's easier to control the speed because I can just put it in a gear and I don't even have to think. They can't pull faster and then they can't really pull that much slower, and it doesn't really use fuel because they pull the engine forward, so it's not that bad for the environment. I don't have to change a lot of parts and the dogs run a lot more safe. See, they didn't switch from, she didn't go right into loping just because I revved the engine, but if I were to go, yeah, I think she will. So yeah. There we go. Straight the way right into loping. Doesn't care about the engine, she cares about my voice. Stop! Look at that view. There's a big rainbow. Got the river, got the mountains, got the dark clouds, got the light clouds, got the two beautiful dogs. Let's go home. Yep. Now we're going too fast without the engine, so we're going to start it. Gear down. This is a good speed. Yeah, and I've trained 3 dogs with this. I think you could go up to 4. I think maybe 5 or 6 dogs in front of this motorcycle is a bit too much. The steering gets a little hard. But if you're doing more than 2 dogs, or even just 2 dogs, you really have to train a lot to train them not to pull the bike when you're having a break. Because one thing dogs will do if they think your break is too long is that they will try to start on their own, and that's gonna tip over the bike, potentially breaking parts. So you really want to do a lot of training to help them stand still until you give the clear signal. So the dog on the right is really good at that. She won't move, not even a centimeter, even though the dog next to her is trying their hardest to pull. If I haven't given her the clear signal, she's not running. That makes it really easy to train with these 2 dogs in front of this bike, because I know that I can go away from the bikes if I need to get a bucket of water and the bike will stand safe. And another thing that's positive about this compared to Bikejoring is that you sit so comfortable, and you got big wheels, you got shocks, both front and back. This bike is meant to go at speeds maybe 6 times faster than this, so the brakes are big enough, the engine is big enough, and it's small enough because it's just 125 cubic. Extremely nice vehicle to use for training your dogs like this. The only really big downside to training with a motorcycle is that you can't go up in the mountains because that's illegal because of the engine and everything. And just for going up into the mountains, it's a lot better to have a bike. But if you're down by a dirt road, a motorcycle is a fantastic vehicle to use. Stop! Let's give the dogs the chance to eat some snow. And how you doing, eh? How you doing, eh? Doing good, eh? See, they're both standing up, not trying to pull the bike. I don't have to be worried. I just hop on. This is usually when they try to start pulling, but they're going to start pulling on my command, not by me sitting on the bike. Try it. So yeah, mushing with a dirt bike, fantastic thing to do. It's just like a controlled leash run. It's just like walking the dogs, except they get training. And yeah, if you found at least some of this information useful, please consider liking this video, subscribing to this channel. And yeah, I do a lot of work with dogs. I think it's a fantastic thing to do. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you're having a fantastic week. Stop.